Joining us now, though, as we kick off the program, excited to talk with Troy Schneider with the National Corn Growers Association, corn board member from Colorado and liaison to the NCGA. Troy, it's good to see you again, my friend. How are you?
It's always good to be here. We're doing really well.
Well, let's just start. I'd love to hear, how is the corn crop looking for you in Colorado? And I know we were chatting about wheat as well. Wheat harvest, wrap it up for you. How are things going so far this growing season?
The growing season's going well. We've had good moisture, not too extreme high temperatures. So that's been good. The corn crop is looking excellent out in our area. Even the dry land is hanging in there. With 12, we plant 12,000 plants per acre on dry land. So you need every plant to produce as much as it can. The irrigation is right there. It's looking good. Cattle are doing well on the grass. We had 3/4 of an inch this week for moisture on the Monday night or Sunday night, I think. So things are good. We could always use more rain out in eastern Colorado. The wheat harvest did wrap up on Saturday for us. Had a little hail over the growing season, but overall it's been good.
Well, good to hear. And I know that many parts of the country have struggled in various ways. You think about the flooding, in parts of the northwestern corn belt, and we just saw a wind event go through the east here last night as well. So, we have our weather challenges, but all in all, it just feels like nationwide, and maybe you've heard this from some of your fellow corn board members here this week already, that there are some areas that look really darn good right now, Troy.
Yeah, there's areas that look good, then there's areas that, guys are saying, hey, we just don't have the corn this year. So it's going to be a balancing act. But that's the great thing about the corn belt is that it's a broad enough area. We're still going to be able to produce a good, sound crop to take care of all the needs.
Very true. And well, I know, thinking about all those needs, that's part of what you guys talk about here this week at Corn Congress. Give folks listening in who maybe they've heard about it or never been, that kind of thing. What exactly is Corn Congress? What do you guys do here this week in DC with the National Corn Growers Association?
So to start off, on Monday and Tuesday this week, we have what we call our action teams. So NCGA currently is made up of 7 different action teams. Next year, we're going to go to 6. We're combining a few, reshuffling the cards per se with our new strategic plan that we implemented this year. But those action teams are meeting on Monday and Tuesday. They're made up of 13 producers from different states on each action team. And they're sitting there discussing, reviewing what actions, what policies, what will the direction of NCGA be? Then those things are taken. We go up on Wednesday. We do hill visits. We have some other things going on with our political action committee, our PAC. Then on Thursday, we have Corn Congress. So NCGA has three items that determine how many delegates each state gets. So the state of Iowa has like 23 delegates. State of Colorado, a small state, we have 1 delegate.
Okay.
But there's about 126 delegates on the delegate floor. The board does not meet this week, but the board then takes its direction from the action teams, and it takes direction from the Corn Congress. And Corn Congress is where the resolutions, the policy gets set. That's where the voting happens as far as what's going in our book, what direction we're going to give the board. So you have 120, I think it's 126 members that will be there. We'll go through different items. I know there's items of 45Z coming up.
Yes.
To tackle that. There's always multiple resolutions. We'll also be electing at least 4 new members to the corn board.
Okay.
So Chairman Tom Haig will be terming off. He's at the end of his term. Deb Gangwish from the state of Nebraska, Brian Thalman from Minnesota, and Bob Himsat from Iowa will be stepping away from the corn board this year. Randy DeSutter, who's currently on the board, is up for re-election. So we have 6 candidates running. Last year we had 8. This year we have 6. So we will be seeing how that goes. And one of them will be fulfilling Jed Bauer's position where he got reelected last year. So somebody will be elected to a 2-year term, but the delegate body will elect those.
Okay.
And
So it's a big week for the Corn Growers Association, setting policy, elections, you name it. This is the week that kind of shapes the vision for the next year, right?
I mean, this week here we have 2 corn congresses this week, and then at Commodity Classic.
Okay.
The action teams meet this week, and then the second week of January. And then other than that, the action teams meet online once a month. We were implementing that. NCGA was forward thinking enough before COVID. We changed from a 3-time meeting during the year to 2 times in person, and then the rest was going to be online. So we use that Zoom quite a bit.
Definitely. Well, and I have to think, you mentioned 45Z, so I'm sure sustainable aviation fuel, hot topic this week. Farm Bill 2, as we're still trying to figure that whole situation out. I would imagine those are a couple of the big key talking points this week.
Oh, you've got Farm Bill, you've got the Next Gen Fuel Act, year-round E15. You can go on down the list. And then we also always have to be considerate to our partners in the agriculture industry, whether it be the 3 phases of livestock, whatever we're talking about. We have partners that depend on that Farm Bill too, and their betterment is our betterment. So we have to look across the party lines, the commodity lines, if you will, a little bit, to make sure that everybody, in agriculture, we're such a small constituency. We need to be aiming out, not aiming in.
Yeah, it's all about those strategic partnerships to help with the overall economic sustainability of the corn industry.
Correct.
We've talked about that a lot. And I know too that, members of NCGA or corn farmers across the country, we want to have their voices heard too. That's what it's all about, whether they go online to ncga.com or reach out to members of the board, et cetera, because you guys want to hear what they are saying out there across the country, right?
So we were talking about the action teams. Those action teams are made up of state board members from all these different states. So if you're out there and you're listening to this, get involved with your state and local, your state growers association, your state checkoff. Both can be a part of this. NCGA is made up of 26 grower states and 23 states that have checkoffs. So we're unlike any other organization where we have one board and one voice.
NCGA.com for more. Troy Schneider with the National Corn Growers Association. Thanks for joining me on Market Talk today. Always good to catch up with you.
Thank you for having me.
Make sure to subscribe to the Market Talk YouTube channel. You can watch our latest interviews with top market analysts in the country, find bonus content, and much more. It's easy. Just go to youtube.com/@MarketTalkAg and hit the subscribe button. Or you can search for Market Talk Ag on YouTube.